Hey everybody, we're back outside. How's everybody doing? Got my back up. Oh boy, what's that? Still, I don't know if you can see that red. It's like spreading, but almost looks like it's a rash. I checked online. It said that sometimes the shingles vaccine will cause a rash or a red spot in the vicinity of where the injection was. And the one they show is a lot worse than what I've got. But I also read where it says the second shot is worse than the first. So in December, around December 15th or so, somewhere in there, just before Christmas, I'll be able to get my second shot. So I'll be in good shape for Christmas, right? Not that anybody's in good shape for Christmas anyway, because it always seems to be so stressful. And can you imagine having a family with like 6 kids at Christmas? I don't think we had too many visits from my grandfather and step-grandmother on my father's side. Once in a while they would come by, usually later in the day. And then in the morning, my Nana and Nampa, it's my maternal grandmother and step-grandfather. She's the one whose husband died in 1937, my actual grandfather. It's from him that I get my woodworking hobby, because she said he used to love woodworking and actually built a boat out of wood. But his occupation was heavy equipment operator. And but they would come over early in the morning, usually around 8 or 9 o'clock, and bring presents. They would bring in these 2 big boxes of presents. So we always loved to see them. You know, if you have people come over and you got little kids, make sure they bring them presents. I'm gonna get some sun while I'm here. I'm looking for my mood light. I've got one of those mood lights. I think I might start using it, see if that helps me feel better. I used to use it when I was working the midnight shift, you know, at the college. And I gotta tell you, it really does help. You know, in the evening, a few hours before I'd go into work, I would put that light in front of my face and close my eyes. And it reminded me of laying at the beach on a sunny day. You feel the bright light on your face. With your eyes closed, all you see is like the red blood in your eye. So when I would close my eyes, I would just automatically feel like I was at the beach, and I would feel happy. I think that's what it does, you know, that the mood light. It's a certain frequency of light, or spectrum of light, I guess. And the one that I had like an ozone generator on it, so it gave out a certain smell, like the smell after a rain or just before rain. So how's everybody doing? We make sure we're recording. Not sure how long I'll be out here. I was thinking of doing this inside. They're having a bunch of old black and white horror movies on 13.2, and the one that's playing now is House of Dark Shadows. And there was a soap opera my sister Teresa used to love to watch called Dark Shadows, and this movie was patterned after that soap opera. And it's in color from maybe the late 60s, early 70s, and I didn't want to watch that. But the one before that was The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, and that was a good movie. The next time we're in the house, at the house in the indoor studio, I'm gonna play a clip from that because I recorded it before the the monster starts tearing up New York City. But it was Harry Munchenhausen or something. Harry Hausen that did the Jason and the Argonauts, the stop motion fight with the skeletons, and the big bronze man with the sword. Those were so real to me when I was a kid. But the dinosaur that's in this one's really good. You'll enjoy it. It'll scare the you-know-what out of you. You'll pee in your pants. So what else is going on? I was going to mention to you guys, before I forget, I was going through the military history. And something that always reminds me of infantry school. And you can watch it when you get a chance. On YouTube, search for Apocalypse Now, Battle of the Dulong Bridge. And what that reminds me of is the final exam in infantry school is a practical exam. You go out there, they give you the afternoon off one day, and after it gets dark, they take you out to this, must be on the edge of a firing range, where they have some trenches dug and some mounds and some bunkers and things like that built up. We still weren't into urban warfare then. 99% of infantry school was forest, Vietnam theme, stuff like that. So the final exam was to go out one day at night, and they give you a mission. You work in pairs. They give 2 of you at a time. And the mission that I went on was a resupply of a machine gun post. And both of us were carrying 2 ammo cans of machine gun ammunition, which I think it was just full of sand. The big ammo cans of ammunition. So they told us, that you go through here and go through there and resupply ammunition to the machine gun post on the far end. So as you get into the ditch or the trench, it's kind of like in Ukraine now, it's like trench warfare. And as you're moving through the trench, there's a mortar position. The guy says, "My buddy's been killed and I need some help manning this mortar." And then you would help him. Even though we had a mission, we would sit there, and there was an instructor that guided us, helped us through. And he's like, forget about your mission right now and go ahead and help him man this mortar. And then you would help them, like, arm the rounds and drop them in the tube, and they would actually go boom, go off. When a mortar shoots off, it doesn't go dunk, dunk. It goes kaboom. Makes a loud noise. And it settles the base plate, starts settling into the ground. That's why after every shot you have to realign the sights on it, because it moves so much. And then when that's done, you pick up your ammo cans and you continue on down the trench. And in the meantime, there's like flares going off. This is why you got to watch that clip from Apocalypse Now, the Battle of the Dulong Bridge. There's flares going off in the sky, and the mortar rounds are hitting downrange, the machine guns firing, the bullets are whizzing overhead, and you come up to another place where the guy says, the 2 soldiers that were here were killed, and they're engaging people that are getting ready to overrun this position. Your task is to pick up there were 2 guns there for both, one for each of us, and they had night vision scopes on them. And the instructor says, it's okay to forego your mission for now. Pick up the night vision rifles and engage the targets out to your front. And it's live ammunition. This is for real. You're getting graded on this. So we pick up the rifles, and they've got this big, huge Vietnam era night vision scopes on them. And as soon as you shoot, the muzzle flash from the gun makes the night vision scope go dark, because they work off of passive infrared. That is, the tiniest light source makes them light up. And it turns out, I was looking downrange, and the targets actually were little pop-up, like from the shoulders up in the head, fall down targets that pop up and down, and they were actually moving towards you. And the instructor says, "What are you shooting at? What are you shooting?" I says, "I'm shooting downrange. I don't see anything." He says, "They're right here, real close, real close." So we did that, and finally I saw the targets, and I shot a couple of the targets and made them fall. And he says, "Okay, pick up your ammo cans and continue on your mission." And we went down the trench, to another position, and where there's this guy screaming. And of course it's fake, but he's got like a bodysuit on where his guts are spilled out. And the instructor says, when they teach you first aid in infantry school, it's combat first aid. It's people with amputations, with big chunks blown out of them, with half their head missing, and they're talking to you, or their guts are hanging out. So this guy's laying there with his intestines hanging out, and he says, you can't pass him up, render aid to him, and you have to do it by the book. You have to open up a 4-inch bandage compress without touching the sterile side of it, and start placing those over his wounds. And then it turns out he's got a sucking chest wound, and that's a whole other procedure. So then we had to take a piece of plastic or foil, and you stick it over the air that's going in and out through the hole. Then you have to tape it up, because a person can't breathe when their lungs are compromised through their skin. Even though they're bleeding into their lungs, they'll at least live if you can cover up that hole or be able to breathe. So after we do that, we went on down to the next station, and there were 2 or 3 more stations. And I was trying to remember what one of the other ones are. And at the very end, you get to your machine gun post, and the guy says, "My partner was just killed. I need your help manning this machine gun." So then we took turns, firing an M60 machine gun at targets. This is in pitch black. And there's bullets whizzing by, there's explosions going off, there's flares up over our heads, and big puffs of flames going in the air, and there's people screaming and hollering going on. And so we immediately reloaded the machine gun. They're testing your skills in combat. Instead of just taking a paper test, they run you through these scenarios so that you can show your proficiency. Kind of like nursing school with the dummies. You don't just take a written test. You got to be able to interact with patients. A lot of people that become nurses or think they can be good nurses are great with the nursing part of it, the medical. But when it comes to interacting with people, they're shitty. They got no interpersonal skills. No person working in McDonald's has got more interpersonal skills than some of these people. Medically, they're great. So we finally get to the end. We do the machine gun. We change out the barrel. We clear a jam, reload it, and then the instructor says, "Okay, we're going administrative. Pick up your cans and let's move to the rallying point." And then he gives us our score sheet. Of course, him and the guy that was with me and we both did like perfect. It's either pass or fail. There is no other way you can do it. At 15 minutes. But watch that part of Apocalypse Now, because that's what that reminds me of, is that infantry final test. What do they call it? It's an actual proficiency test that you have to perform. Performance-based, not writing. And this is after you go through all the different classes in the 12 weeks, telling you how to do all this stuff. The Battle of the Dulong Bridge, Apocalypse Now. So every time I watch that, I watch it probably 10 times in the last 6 months, because it just reminds me, of being 18 years old again, grabbing these 2 ammo cans and running down into the ditch, and your heart's racing, and there's sounds going off, people screaming, your heart's pounding. It was just very surreal. But that's what it's all about. In Special Forces, that's what they say. This is it. This is what it's all about right here. And it's pass or fail. There's no in between. You can't almost make it through nursing. You either do or you don't. Hopefully they still have high standards where they don't pass people that don't belong there, even if they do good in medical. They just can't interact with people on a one-on-one basis. Police work is good for that. Dog grooming is good for that. What Stephanie used to do and what she's doing now, she's already had most of that when she worked for the SPCA, dealing with angry people all the time. But yeah, a lot of times people are in bad, they're in a lot of pain, and they're going to act mean and nasty because they're fed up, especially after they get through with the security guard at the hospital. And by the time you're done with that guy, these security guards down there piss people off before they even get to where the nurse's station is. So you wonder why, right? People are so angry at the hospital because that damn security guard, excuse my language, ticks them off as soon as they walk in the door. The one guy said to me one time, he uttered something and I couldn't hear him, and he said to me, "What's wrong? Don't you hear well?" And I was like, "What? I didn't hear. I heard you say something, but I couldn't make out what you said." They're just nasty people that don't belong in security. Or maybe they've been there a long time and they've lost their patience. They've lost their groove, right? To be able to do that. If I could think of anything else that I might have missed from the other classes, I'll let you know. I think FedEx is here. I love you guys. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. It's nice getting some sun. Please take care of yourselves, your critters, and each other. I love you. God loves you. Together and forever, we always will. In time and in eternity. I love you.